What's up guys, today's video is on the top 5 best Android phones in 2024. Through extensive research and testing, I've put together a list options that'll meet the need of different types of buyers. So whether it's price, performance, or its particular use, we've got you covered. For more information on the product, I've included links in the description box down below, which are updated for the best prices like the video comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. Number 5. Google Pixel 8 Pro, the best Android phone for battery life. In truth, when it comes to selecting the Android phone with the best battery life, there's no outright winner, but the Pixel 8 Pro is a truly excellent phone whose battery life is a key part of its offering. Put simply, this is Google's most ambitious Pixel yet, with some serious camera upgrades that will satisfy even pro photos, and a Tensor G3 chipset custom-built to run Google's machine learning features. In fact, Google is so confident in this phone's performance that it's promising an unprecedented 7 years of major updates, which is longer than any other phone maker is currently supporting its phones. In almost every way, the Pixel 8 Pro's display beats that of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and even some photos look better when shot with Google's latest flagship. Only the Pixel 8 Pro has Magic Editor 2, which combines generative AI with Google's Magic Eraser to fix and change images with a little too much ease. But more on that battery. A Pixel 8 Pro has no trouble lasting through a full day of heavy use. That should come as no surprise, since it has a larger battery than either the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus or the Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max. Google really packed in the biggest cell possible into this phone, and you'll need to buy a gaming phone to find bigger. That aforementioned screen is bright, but Google keeps it dialed down to a healthy brightness that won't strain your eyes or drain the battery too much. There are plenty of baked-in power management features as well. You can choose between standard battery saver or extreme battery saver modes, the latter of which limits more apps and background processes. There's also an enigmatic adaptive battery feature that's turned on by default. All the better because that battery really lasts. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy A54. The best mid-range Samsung phone, the A54 is essentially a UE version of the standard Galaxy S23, bringing lots of S-range features to a lower price point. It's not the absolute cheapest phone Samsung makes by some distance, but it is unquestionably mid-range and definitely worth considering if you're on a budget. The phone measures 158.2 x 76.7 x 8.2 m and weighs 202 z. So we'd call it medium-sized. It's not so big that it's uncomfortable to use, so long as your mitts aren't massive. It's also undeniably attractive, adopting the floating camera design language found on the S23 series. Other colorways are similarly pretty. The Samsung Galaxy A54 also boasts one of the best-looking screens you'll see on a phone for this price. It's a vibrant, colorful 6.4-inch Super AMOLED panel with a FHD resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, and 1000 nits max brightness, marking some nice upgrades over its predecessor. The main camera is an optically stabilized 50MP 5.8 sensor, which is joined by a 12MP ultra-wide and a 5MP a2.4 macro sensor. The snappers take photos that are bright and colorful, which makes shots of wildlife, food, landscapes, or people pop. There's good dynamic range for a phone at this price, and pictures are sharp too, as long as you take them on the main camera. The Galaxy A54 may lap same price rivals in the camera and display departments, but it falls behind on performance. The chip here is the Exynos 1380, which is a home-brewed piece of mid-range kit from Samsung, and while capable, doesn't measure up to similarly priced rivals. The 5000 mAh battery is on the big side, though we see lots of mid-rangers pack this kind of power. That bright screen and 5G require a lot of juice, and we found that the phone comfortably lasted a day between charges, but no more. So on the whole, the Samsung Galaxy A54 gives you some surprisingly top-end specs for its price in some departments, but in others it's weaker than its rivals. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy A13, the best budget Android phone. If you're looking for a capable smartphone that won't break the bank, look no further than the Samsung Galaxy A13. Put simply, it's good enough in most of the areas that matter for a smartphone, from the camera to the battery life, and its super low price, which will continue to drop, makes it a tempting value for money deal. On the design front, the Galaxy A13 feels like a phone that's gonna last. and it offers a 6.6-inch 2408x1080 LCD screen that does a decent job with websites, photos, videos, and games. It's suitably bright, vivid, and crisp. And while there's no support for HDR or anything above a 60 Hz refresh rate, we didn't have any real complaints in this regard. There's no doubt that spending a bit more money is going to get you a phone camera that captures significantly better pictures. But at the same time, the Samsung Galaxy A13 isn't going to let you down if your expectations aren't sky high. Similarly, when it comes to performance, you'll be able to run everything you want to run, but you're going to have to put up with slower speeds than you'd get from a more expensive handset regarding battery life. We tested the Galaxy A13 with an hour of video streaming at a low volume and with the screen set to maximum brightness, then knocked the battery level down by 10, suggesting around 10 hours of playback in total. Dim the screen and you'd be able to stretch that out further, so you'd be okay for watching films on long-distance trips. Ultimately then, if you want value for money and you want Samsung, then the Galaxy A13 is definitely worth considering. Mind you, there are plenty of competing phones, like the Moto G53 5G and Nokia G42 5G, even at this low price point. Number 2. Google Pixel 7, the best value Android phone. While you might expect the Pixel 7a to be our pick for the best value Android phone, Google has given the Pixel 7 such good discounts throughout the past year that it's now worth paying a little bit more for, even though the Pixel 6a is still on sale at a great low price. For better durability, wireless charging, and much better photography, the Pixel 7 is worth the money. The Pixel 7 looks like the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 8, but there are different color options every year, and we like the lemongrass hue offered for this phone. The camera bar is metal and tinted depending on the color you buy, and it has a great look for a budget device. Plus, it is rated IP68 for water resistance, which is a huge improvement over the previous model. With the Pixel 7, you're getting the same 15p main camera as the Pixel 7 Pro, as well as a similar 12MP ultra-wide. You also get the same 10.8 punch-hole selfie snapper, plus 4K video recording up to 60p and support for 10-bit HDR video capture for better colors, brightness, and contrast. While the hardware is interesting, the Pixel camera experience is really more about the processing and software, which is here supported by Google's competent Tensor G2 chip. The Pixel 7 has a full head resolution and 29 aspect ratio, and it runs at up to 1000 nits in normal use and can push to 1400 nits at its peak, 25 brighter than that of the Pixel 6's display, for better visibility in bright surroundings. We had no trouble getting the phone to last all day and ended most days at around 15 battery. Number 1. Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra, the best overall Android phone. The Galaxy S23 Ultra offers up a familiar face that, at a glance, looks identical to its predecessor. A familiar square design plays host to a tweaked display that offers a greater flat surface area, giving the S Pen stylus more room to work with. The front and back now sport the latest and most resilient Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and all the mod cons from its predecessor, including IP68 dust and water resistance and 45U wired charging, remain. On the inside, however, there are some bigger changes, like the new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 mobile platform for Galaxy that Samsung and Qualcomm have collaborated on, purpose-built to offer rival-beating performance. A familiar-looking rear 4-camera rear array hides a new 200p lead sensor that offers 16:1 pixel binning, with the aim of advancing the S23 Ultra's nightography's abilities for everything from general snaps to portrait photography to videos of the night sky, using the new Astro Hyperlapse mode. And in practice, although imperfect, you'll be hard-pressed to find an alternative phone with the same level of consistency, quality, and confidence across its various sensors. While the starting price in the US at least remains consistent with the Galaxy S22 Ultra's base price, Samsung has doubled the entry-level storage to 256 GB, while the top-tier model can be had with 12 GB of RAM of a Mate TB on the base version and a whopping 1 TB of storage. So this was today's video about top 5 best Android phones. If you benefit from the video, then subscribe and stay with us.